My girlfriend insisted that I apologize to her closest male friend for upsetting him. I said fine, I'd do it. I went to his place and, right in front of his wife, I said, "I'm truly sorry. I'm sorry I never told my girlfriend about the affair you had last summer. I should never have carried that secret for you. My girlfriend's name is Kate, and her best friend is Simon. The two of them are legendary in their own minds, a private admiration society where the only members are each other and the only subject is how brilliant they both are. Simon is married to Clara, a gentle, soft-spoken woman who always watches their endless banter with the tired expression of someone who long ago accepted that this is just how things are. In my own relationship, I've always felt like an uninvited guest. Simon's opinion weighs more than mine on everything. What coffee beans we buy, where we go on holiday, even what color throw pillows look best on the couch. He has a key to our flat, an emergency key, Kate says, and he uses it whenever he feels like it, letting himself in without knocking or texting first. He's smug, patronizing, and has a gift for wrapping insults in the paper of helpful advice. Kate defends every one of his jabs with shining eyes and breathless praise that I've never understood and have long since stopped trying to. Last summer, everything shifted, because I became the unwilling guardian of a secret that rewrote the rules of this strange little trio. Kate had practically forced me to take Simon out for a guy's night, something I was supposed to enjoy. After I'd paid for round after round of overpriced cocktails, Simon, drunk and swaggering, confessed that he was sleeping with someone from work. He bragged about the thrill, the lies, the hotel rooms, the secret email address, the whole disgusting performance. The next morning he rang me in a panic, voice shaking from the hangover, begging me to pretend the conversation never happened. He swore it was a one-time mistake, swore it was over, and made me promise not to breathe a word. Especially not to Kate or Clara, I promised. It wasn't my marriage to blow up. But I've always believed in keeping ammunition for the day you might actually need it. That day arrived last week. My unforgivable crime? I had politely asked Simon to send a text before letting himself in with his key again, because the previous morning he had walked in while I was fresh out of the shower wearing nothing but a towel. The reaction was apocalyptic. Kate accused me of toxic jealousy and of trying to destroy her most sacred friendship. Simon milked the drama for all it was worth, telling Kate he now felt unwelcome and judged in the home of his oldest friend. It ended with a full-scale intervention. Kate and Simon, shoulder to shoulder like generals of righteousness, sat me down and informed me that I owed him a proper apology. A heartfelt, public apology. Kate wasn't satisfied with a quiet sorry at home. No, she wanted theater. "You need to go to his house," she declared. "You need to apologize in front of Clara, so she sees how much you value our friendship and respect what we all have." She wanted me humiliated in front of another woman, wanted Clara to witness my official demotion to the lowest rung of the hierarchy. A slow smile spread across my face. She had just handed me the stage, the spotlight, and the perfect audience, all gift-wrapped. "Okay," I said, letting my shoulders slump in practiced defeat. "You're right. I'll go to his house and apologize properly." Kate practically glowed with triumph. Simon smirked like a king granting mercy to a peasant. They thought they were about to watch me grovel. They had no idea they were walking into an execution. Update 1: the apology was set for Saturday evening. For the next 2 days, Kate coached me like a director with her star pupil. I was to admit my insecurity, praise Simon's loyalty, promise to be more open and welcoming in future. I nodded, memorized the lines, and said nothing about the phone call I made an hour before we left. I rang Clara. "Hey Clara, it's Mark. Just checking we're still okay for 7? I really want to clear the air with Simon tonight." It means a lot to me that we all feel like family. Clara, sweet and unsuspecting, sounded delighted. Of course, Mark. See you at 7. Audience secured. We arrived on the dot. Kate was buzzing with anticipation. This was her victory lap. Simon opened the door wearing the benevolent smile of a man about to receive tribute. Clara greeted us warmly, poured drinks, and we all settled in the living room. The air was heavy with expectation. Kate gave me a sharp nod. Showtime. I stood, faced Simon, and took an exaggerated breath. Simon, I began, voice dripping with rehearsed remorse. I owe you a sincere apology. I've been selfish. I haven't always appreciated how important you are in our lives. In Kate's life especially. Kate beamed. Simon puffed up like a peacock. I stepped forward, turned slightly so Clara was fully in my sight line, and slowly sank down onto one knee. Kate actually gasped a tiny, thrilled sound. She thought she'd won the ultimate display of submission. I looked up, not at Simon, but straight into Clara's kind, confused eyes. Clara, I said, voice suddenly clear and strong. My real apology tonight is to you. The greatest wrong I've ever done wasn't hurting Simon's feelings. It was keeping his secret from you. Clara's smile froze. Simon went deathly pale. Kate looked as if someone had punched her in the stomach. I'm so sorry, Clara, that I didn't tell you your husband was sleeping with a woman from his office all last summer. I'm sorry I stayed silent about the hotel rooms he paid for in cash, the burner email he bragged about, the lies he laughed about while he was drunk. He told me everything one night and begged me the next morning never to say a word. I kept that promise, and that was wrong. Please forgive me for helping him deceive you. The silence that followed was total, the kind that rings in your ears. Clara turned her head very slowly and looked at Simon. He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Kate exploded first. What the hell are you doing? He's lying. This is insane. I stayed on one knee, pulled out my phone, opened the screenshot I'd kept for exactly this moment, and held it out to Clara. It was the text thread from the morning after his confession. Me 234. Me. I won't say anything about what you told me last night, but you owe me. Simon. Thank you, man. It's over, I swear. Never bring it up again. Clara read it, looked at her husband's name at the top, and in that second, everything she thought she knew shattered. I stood up. Apology delivered, I said quietly, then walked out, closing the door softly behind me on the mushroom cloud I just created. Update 2: the next 48 hours were a fireworks show visible only by phone. I blocked Kate and Simon immediately and watched the fallout from a safe distance. First came the texts from Kate's friend group, the flying monkeys she'd mobilized. You're sick? How could you make up something so vile? Etc. I answered each one with the same screenshot and nothing else. The outrage stopped instantly. Truth is a hell of a silencer. Kate herself cycled through every stage of grief via email. Denial, rage, bargaining, despair, a bizarre half-acceptance that Simon had simply made a mistake, and I didn't need to nuke 2 marriages over it. I never replied. The message that actually mattered came from Clara 2 days later. Mark, I don't know if I should thank you or hate you, but you told me the truth when my own husband wouldn't. I found the hidden credit card statements. It was all real. He doesn't live here anymore. I've spoken to a lawyer. I'm sorry for everything Kate and Simon put you through. You deserve far better. That was all the vindication I needed. Logistics next. Kate still lived in my flat, lease in my name only. My lawyer sent a formal 30-day notice to vacate. She retaliated with childish warfare, blasting music at 3 a.m., post-it notes that said things like petty king on the fridge. I stayed at a mate's place and let her stew. Her last desperate move was attempting to steal my TV and sound system the day before she had to leave. I walked in with a friend as a witness, calmly informed her I had the receipts, and asked if she'd like the police involved. She put everything back and slunk away. The next morning the flat was empty, silent, and finally mine again. Final update: 6 months have passed since I dropped to one knee with the most honest apology of my life. Simon's world is ash. Clara took the house, the dog, and a large chunk of everything else. He lives in a sad little rental, pays alimony, and is persona non grata in every group chat he once ruled. The charming golden boy is now just that guy who cheated and got exposed. Kate's collapse was slower but total. With no boyfriend, no best friend, she and Simon had a spectacular screaming match and haven't spoken since. And no home. She moved back in with her parents at 32. The screenshot killed any chance of her rewriting history. Everyone knows exactly who enabled what. Last I heard, she's working a dead-end job and still trying and failing to claw back her old social life. Me? I'm better than I've ever been. Changed the locks the same week she left, symbolic and satisfying. Work is going brilliantly now that my home is quiet and mine alone. And Clara? A couple of months after the divorce papers were filed, she messaged to say thank you again. We met for coffee, then dinner, then more dinners. It's early days, but it's easy, honest, and drama-free. We both know what betrayal feels like, and neither of us is interested in repeating it. Kate demanded I get on my knees and beg for forgiveness. She got her audience, her stage, and her kneeling man. She just never realized the apology wasn't for Simon. It was for keeping his secret, and in delivering it, I set two people free, Clara and myself.